Hi guys, I'm Alan and this is Stationeers. So at the end of the last video, I talked about building a furnace next so we can make some iron, which leads to batteries, which leads to and so on. I think I'll probably still do that, but if you look down in the corner here, you'll see we're out of cereal bars. So let's go grab some of those. We have a ever-burning flare over here, which is kind of nice. It means I can always find the lander. So as you can see, we've actually eaten 5 of our cereal bars, and the rest are... Oh, we only have 2 left. I thought we had another 5 for some reason. Okay. So, yeah, second order of business is going to be hydroponics. I mean, we could bake a couple of these or eat a couple of these potatoes and these tomatoes, but they're not going to last us very long. So actually, yeah, we want to start building things soonish. So I guess while I'm here, I'll grab a couple of things and move them over to the base. Yeah, we'll grab the doors. We'll still leave the battery charger alone for now. I generally don't use that until I have like a constant source of power, usually solar. And we'll just stick all this stuff here. Looking like we may want another locker soonish. I like to keep one just for ores. Yeah, what do we need to build a furnace? Oh, we certainly have plenty. Let's get that kicked off. I'll kick that over so we don't build a whole bunch of them because that would stink. And I wanted to look again here. I don't remember, did I actually, what is this? Advanced furnace. I haven't used that actually. It was just coming around the last time I sort of walked away from Stationeers for a while. Nope. Nope. No. This is what I was thinking of. So I have used briefly the arc welder and the heavy mining drill. The heavy mining drill is pretty nice, but it does require some kind of advanced stuff if I remember. What does this give us? So this gives us the medium filters. Usually don't bother with the mediums. I usually go straight to the larges. Desk lamp. What I'm looking for, oh, we do want to look at that. We want to look at the auto miner. That's new. Basic storage, no. So construction materials, that's what I was thinking of. We want that because that'll get us steel frames and sheets. I can live without a coffee mug, I think. We were talking about getting kit furniture. Attractive walls, no, we don't care much about those right now. Sorting. Don't care about advanced. Might get kit chutes and vehicles. I feel like we're a ways away from there. Let's... Did we already... Oh, I guess we did already process those, didn't we? Yeah, I see we have 5. Oh, great. So great. Let's spend some. Construction. Let's go get... Yeah, the steel. Furniture. Chutes. And then... Tool printer mod. Can we already build the yeah, we can already build the pipe bender. That's good. I'm gonna want that soon-ish. And we have the resources to build it too, so that's good. I wasn't planning on building that today, but we may. So here's our furnace. And I think I'm gonna grab, yeah, let's just make our base one longer, and that's the end of our iron frames. It's fine, we can live with that. We're gonna start using steel soon anyway. So we'll weld these up, just one, because actually we need a couple of steel sheets to put together the furnace, and I don't remember how many it is actually. So I'm gonna just stick this on the corner, kind of out of the way, and that's a terrible orientation. That looks better. I've always kind of built it sort of in the center of a frame, but let's do... I know, why did you build those frames? Let's do... What's that? One of the things that the furnace has a tendency to do, not so much on Mars, but when resources drop out of the bottom of it, in fact, never mind, I have another way to solve what I was going to say. But what happens is when resources drop out of it, if they are the alloys like, what do we got? Solder, Constantin, or Constantin, I'm not sure how to pronounce it. What's the other one? It's gold and silver. Can't think of what it's called. They're shaped kind of like little rods, and they tend to roll away. So if you can do something to capture them, wrench. Oh, okay. If you can do something to capture them, it can be kind of helpful. Yeah, see, I thought we needed the welding torch. I think it used to be 4 all with the torch, but now they've made more steps. And I actually didn't expect to have enough time to use furnace tonight, but if we hurry, maybe we can. So I'm going to pop over here. Oh, I only have 5 lead. Alright, never mind. I was going to say... yeah, okay. Let's hurry. If we... So, to do this, I'm going to do it a way that some people don't like. You just drop ices into it. And you drop them in a 2-to-1 ratio. You have to do it at night, otherwise they will melt. Like, damn it, I just missed it. Let's see if we can hide in the shadow of our locker. Sometimes you can do this. Nope. That's unfortunate. Okay, never mind. We are using the furnace tomorrow night. Yeah, so... oh, man, we just missed it. So yeah, we will use the furnace tonight. In the meantime, well, I can leave these here. In the meantime, if I can find... what do we have? 108 iron. 10 iron. If I could get that 10 iron split to 5 somehow, and I could make 10 grams of solder, maybe it's just not worth the effort. Okay, so this guy's built, and we can't really do anything with it now that the sun is up, and more importantly, the temperature's above 0. as soon as we take the ices out into our hand, they sublimate or melt or however, whatever it actually is. Is our solar tracker tracking? It looks to be. Good. So actually, yeah, let's kick out. We don't have any gold in here? I thought we had gold in here. So we need a bit of gold in order to make the hydraulic pipe bender. There we go, that'll do. So we'll get that, and I like to do the same kind of thing. I'll do the hydraulic pipe bender over here, leaving some room here. Actually, I wanted to look at something else. I told you I have plans for the outputs of these. Let's see if I can do that. I think it's in here. It's the... No, maybe not. Or maybe we have to research it. I don't know yet. Yeah, okay, so what I like to do is put a stacker over here with some chutes. And it looks like we need to research that somewhere. The hydraulic pipe bender. Yes, please. No. Yes, please. Now. Kick that over. And then I didn't see it in here. Maybe it's a second level or something. Is it in here? Kit fabricator? No. Advanced delivery systems. Oh, okay. So we do need a bit of triangle research. Yellow? I keep hitting escape when I want to leave this. So what do we need for yellow? 3, what? 3 astroloy? ASTROLOY? What is that? Hmm. How do we get the Stationepedia? I want to search. Let me move here so I can see it a little better. Mining. All right, let's try that. Or we need, like, do we make, is it a alloy of cobalt or something? Ingots. Ingot astroloy. Astroloy? Come on, roll. So you make it in the advanced furnace? Iron, copper, cobalt? Yikes. Stacker should not be that far into the tech tree. Oh, I left it on. Advanced delivery systems. Sorter. Stacker. Yeah, I disagree with that. I think that's imbalanced. What are the... Turn it off this time. What are the other... Here's our pipe bender. What do the other researches cost? So we've seen red. I think blue is the next one. Iron, gold, and copper. Okay, that's reasonable. Oh, great. Hey, uranium has a use. That's nice. So yeah, I think that's imbalanced. I think it should, if you're gonna make it a second level, like on top of chutes, it should be maybe a green capsule or a blue capsule. Yeah, the yellow one's just, it's too much. So anyway, all right. So I can't do my stacker trick. That's really unfortunate. I am going to give myself a little bit of space here. And yeah, we're going to need iron sheets. That's... And, oh, we're nearly out of cable coil. We have just enough to build this, it looks like. I'm going to need some plastic sheets. Oh, I'm a little disconcerted. I really like using the stackers. And I guess we're gonna have to learn how to use an advanced... This is just not charging. Well, I guess we'll be able to make our steel soon at least. I guess we can put this away. We'll put away the plastic sheets because we're not going to need those, nor are we going to need the iron sheets. What do I have in here now? The 10 iron. That's unfortunate. We have just out here. What I like to do is put a stacker on the outputs of my machines and pipe the two outputs together, the printer, the auto lathe and the electronics printer, because I don't tend to have to use them both at the same time. And then I can, print out a bunch of steel sheets or steel frames or whatever and have them stacked, or print out a bunch of cable coil and have them stacked and not have to have a whole bunch of separate stackers. And then the other thing I do is I stick a chute inlet like here, and then I can just set a stack size and chuck arbitrary things into it, and it'll give me stacks of that. In particular, you can use that to, of course, you can use that to split your ingots. So like this, there's 10 in here. What I was looking to do is come up with 5 grams to match my, oh, it's in my inventory, to match my 5 grams of lead so I could make solder, which is a 1-to-1 ratio of lead and iron. Yeah. And then also I said in a previous video, sometimes I will limit a resource. Like, let's say I need 20 steel frames. So I will set the stack size on a stacker to 20 and throw a chunk of steel into the sorter, or sorry, into the chute, and then it'll come out the stacker in chunks of 20, and then I just feed my 20 in and then, hit go on steel sheets, and then I get 20. Okay. All right, that's rant done. Oh, of course, power's low too. Decent amount of power over here, so we'll Grab that, and our solar panels reset. I really am excited that that worked the way I intended. Yeah, we'll talk more about better solar at another time. Let's work on this. No, I wanted my inventory. Not 5. We're gonna have to stretch our food a little bit, it looks like. So I already put 1 piece unit of oxide in there. And the volatiles melted out of my hand before. To make iron, what we need is a 3-to-1 ratio of iron to coal. And the ratios for these things, for the actual alloys, have to be precise. In mixing stuff in the furnace for combustion, like oxide and volatiles, you need them to be an approximately a 2-to-1 ratio of volatiles to oxygen, but you can vary the ratio to get slightly different temperatures and pressures. Actually, let's double this. I have seen lately that a lot of people have been using just 2 and 1, but I have usually used multiples of 2. So we're just going to double this up. And you can add stuff once it's already lit and it'll keep going. And then when you're making alloys, each of them has a temperature and pressure range. And steel happens to be very wide. We can have pretty much any pressure, and as long as the temperature is above 700 Celsius, I think it is, 600 or 700, we'll get steel out of combining this in the 3-to-1 ratio. The reason I was going to do the lead is because lead has a lower temperature, although it looks like with the 2-to-4 ratio we wouldn't have had a problem. You can like do 1 alloy mix, eject it. You see it says we'll produce 200 grams of steel. Eject it, and as long as you have the temperature and pressure, you can throw in something else and make something else. But we just don't have the resources to make the thingamajig. This is probably a temporary location for this because just like our solar panels, we want to track like across the sky like this for the sun. We want to have a greenhouse that has access, it has windows on this side over the top and then windows on this side. So at this end of the base is where I'm going to build my greenhouse. So yeah, this is probably a temporary location for this. It's probably not nice to have something this hot just hanging around the corner of our base. Fortunately, the atmosphere on Mars is very thin, so you can see the exterior temperature is still reading -1 over here. If we get away from it, you can see it goes down. Sorry, it's not really that important. So let's swap this guy back because I noticed I didn't finish building the atmospheric printer. Hydraulic pipe bender. Not really an atmospheric printer, even though I guess that's kind of what it is. Before we do anything, what do we have in here again? We have copper. What does it take to make one of these? Gold. Yeah, gold, copper, and steel. Okay, so we need a bit more gold. We'll get that going. Where did I just... Oh, didn't put my screwdriver away. Gold, copper, and steel. And I also want copper because I want to print some... or sorry, 2 grams a piece. I want to print some cable coil because we need to wire this guy up and then eventually our... Wow, I'm having a hard time with words today. Our greenhouse. So, I don't know, let's do maybe 10 of these guys while we wait. So yeah, it'd be nice if I had the stacker over here, then it would gather these up. What do we build the... I wonder if the advanced furnace is down here. I don't think we've unlocked it actually. I think it was an unlock if I remember. Oh, we're only 18 into that. What I tend to do once I get a little bit further along is I will actually, in order not to have to mix iron and steel frames, and if I take this one apart and this one apart and have an iron sheet and a steel sheet, it's kind of a pain in the neck. Yeah, hunger critical. I like to replace all of my iron frames eventually. Let's kick... Okay, it's gotta be on. That's good. We want this steel. And I'll stick the copper, and I'm gonna eat, so, well, yeah, I'm gonna eat so that doesn't drive you nuts. Or me, since I'm playing with headphones on. So let's build a kit battery. And these don't take very long. And then I do not want 114 cable coil. I don't want to stay over here, so what I'm going to do, throw that back in there, and what do we have here? Well, actually, what I could do, yeah, that's actually a good idea. Did I put this? I didn't mean to put the steel back. Plop that over there because we'll put it up in a minute. Chuck these over here because we're going to need them over there next. I was going to, while we wait, build another solar panel. Did I throw the copper in here? I did. Go away. Perfect. I only want to build one more for the moment. Okay, and then what does that leave us? 37 gold, 37 grams of copper. Yeah, that's too much. But if we stick this in here and make I'll do that another 50 times. Because we're going to need cable coil to wire up our new solar cell and this guy. That'll make us a stack of 50. We'll leave that here for now. So the solar panel, we might as well just go plug that in, or set it down anyway. The data port's on the right there, and then because we're not doing anything with the horizontal tracking, we still need to nope. Turn this around to -90 to match the other one. And we need glass sheet to finish that off. Let's see, before we have too big of a mess over here. See, the stacker's also nice for these, because cable coils stack in 50s. Another trick... I do have a couple of spare blue. So what I want to do is I want some of this to be blue. So we'll throw it all on the ground for the moment. We'll grab a couple of these blue pieces here and we'll interrupt the solar for a moment. Just because I'm thinking of it. Now if we pick this coil up on top of the blue, they'll turn blue. So, this should be a... Go, and now we'll stick the blue coil in here, we'll grab the red one and grab the rest of this over here. Turn that guy off. We will extend this out. There we go, we just doubled our power output. And that battery is still hurting. Is this? Yeah, okay, it's tracking. So we'll put these, well, we're going to need the coil again in a minute. So what I like doing, and again, it's this stacking trick will come into play, but with all of these things wired up, if we start disassembling this frame, everything's going to stay in place. No, I want to keep the wrench, get rid of the frame. Actually, I can put the wrench away for the moment. So what I like to do is I like to put these batteries in halfway in, well, a third actually. A third of the way inside these frames, and then also you can stack them. You see, I could actually build this floating in air. But when I build a second one, I'll just build it on top of the other one, which makes a really compact setup, which is nice. So, how do we want to do this? That is the input. And what I like to do is place the input on the middle. It really doesn't. Well, I guess it depends on the situation. Which way do I want to go? Yeah, let's place the input on this side. So we'll build this guy. And one thing you do have to remember if you do this trick, it looks like in this case we'd be able to get to the power switch. Yeah, because it'll be outside of the wall or outside of the frame. But if you build it the other way around, the power switch would be over there, and you can't get to it once you put the sheet back in. And in fact, we've got some work to do before we do that. So the very first thing I'm gonna do, so let's get it wired up. Sorry, I was just thinking for a second. Let's get it wired up. And I like to just come down our little frame here. Let's get it wired up to the output of the solar panels. So any excess that can't go into these guys will immediately go into this guy. Now, that is problematic because these guys will suck up all of the power from a network. So our goal is actually to get everything off of this solar panel output network pretty quickly. Because right now, this APC, you can see it's discharging because this guy is sucking up all of the power that's on this network before the APC can have a chance, which is not how things work in real world electronics, but in game, that's how it works. The batteries have higher priority, I guess you could say. So what we want to do is get, maybe I should, yeah, we're kind of committed now. So what I want to do is get the output. Yeah, actually we can do a little bit of rearranging. The sun's about to go down anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna leave you here for a moment. I will rewire this and then show you what I've done when I've done it. Hey guys, so I'm back. Over the night I finished wiring up this stuff here, and I went ahead and printed up 40 steel sheets and another 10 frames and picked up those 4 that I threw on the ground over yonder. But what I ended up doing over here is I continued what I was going to do. I came out of the back of the battery, across the ground, and then up a corner, and then into a junction. And then I have the area power control that goes over to the solar network, facing, with the output going to the left. And then the one for the base faces, the output goes to the right. And what I was sort of hemming and hawing about is that because there's a cable coil here now in this spot right behind the APC, right there, this one that was running across, it annoys me to do this sort of thing. But whatever. That's not the permanent place for this guy anyway. We just kind of threw it down there. And then so this just wires up to the output back into the main network again. And that's how I was able to have enough power to print off some stuff. And just to recap over here, this is just the outputs of both solar panels going down the wall and into the battery. A lot of people like to use heavy cable coil on their solar panels, but it just isn't necessary, especially this early. These cable coils can carry 5,000 watts. And right now, you can see sort of like at our peak, we're going to be 420, 430 something, 50 maybe at the top of the day. But per panel, so, 900 watts. So we have room for like at least 10 of these, maybe 11 or 12 before we get to 5,000. And the only thing that's going to be on this cable network are the solar panels and the batteries, or battery at the moment. So as long as the producers are going to be the solar panels, so as long as we control the number of panels we have, we can control the amount of power that's on this network. But we have a while before we really have to worry. We're hungry again, so that's a thing. I guess I can turn that off. I built some more frames and some sheets so that we can start laying out for a greenhouse. We could make a little 1x1 greenhouse. But just like I like to make a little bit bigger base because it's a little crowded, I like to build like a 3x3 greenhouse. And so what I'm going to do is this here, goodness, will be our airlock. And we'll enter into the greenhouse in this direction. Do I want it centered? Yeah, I want it centered this time. Sometimes I'll build them sort of offset. Just kind of depends on what the base calls for. So while we're doing that, kit wall. Okay, so kit wall is the one we make out of steel. So I'm going to start a bunch of those going, and I'll come back. Hopefully I won't forget after I weld these up. I don't remember if it was YouTuber Grey Duster or General Curmudgeon or somebody, but they said the model for the steel sheet, or for the steel frames and the iron frames, is kind of backwards, and I have to agree. I probably should have left those open for now because we may need to get in there. Oh well. You'd think because steel is stronger that it would have sort of the more airy frame, but I guess it's, we're kind of committed now. Not that we as players can change. I mean, I guess somebody could mod it, but that would be confusing. Wouldn't it just a wholesale switch the models of the frames and the frames? Let's turn this off and let's go over here before we make a mess. They're printing a little slower than I expected. I thought we'd have a pile of them already. So we'll come over here. And what I like to do, we don't need windows all the way around. We could just put windows on the east and west. Because that's where we need the sun coming from. And well, in the top. But I don't know, it doesn't really feel like a proper greenhouse if I don't have windows all around. Might need more. Uzma, what's it? Steel sheets. I'm gonna. Yep, maybe I am OCD. I'm gonna let this stop at 95. That's not what I meant to do. My hand's in the wrong spot on the keyboard. This is more walls than we'll need for now. Oh, window. Did I put the... Yeah, okay. Those are facing, and it looks like... It's a matter of preference which way you want them. There are times when... Well, I don't know. We can... Well, we can't build on windows, but we can build on walls. I don't know what I'm saying. You need... Oh, damn, that's right. These are plastic sheets. Did they change it, or am I misremembering? We're going to have to smelt up some silicone before too long. I'm going to leave this one alone for the moment because I may need to get in there. So yeah, I think I'll probably end this video shortly. I think we'll finish off this room. I don't know that I need to do a recap. We've kind of recapped things already as we've gone. All of them. Whoa, got a little aggressive there. Facing windows can be a bit of a pain because it's hard to really, they're kind of tinted. They're shown pretty well right now, but sometimes it's hard. During the day, I think, is a bit more problematic. So in the next video, I know this, like I said, this room is way overkill for an early-ish greenhouse, and oh, I didn't even weld up those all the way. I guess I could do that. For an early-ish greenhouse, I like having the room. And next time we will, oh, I guess to do what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to just walk over these, and if I fall through any, then I know I've missed some. Doesn't look like it. That one we know about. Sorry, it means that we just won't have to revisit the greenhouse. This will be plenty big enough for me for ever on here. So this first growth season of whatever we decide to grow, maybe potatoes. Potatoes are just so overpowered. I'm totally going to do them. This first one will sort of tend to the room temperature and the heating, cooling. Like this volume will just have so much carbon dioxide in it that we're not going to have any trouble growing. So this first couple of crops of potatoes, we'll just sort of manage them by hand, and then at a later date we'll address automation for this room. This really is kind of big, actually. Maybe I should have done 2x3. Too late. Anyway, so yeah, that'll wrap up this video. In the video, we got our pipe bender printed up. We printed up a stationary battery and wired it up to our solar panels, and then the output up to our APCs, which means we have nice fully charged batteries at our disposal pretty much all the time now. To supplement that, we added a second solar panel. When we get to 3, we'll really be cooking. And then also to do all that, we needed some steel, so we melted up some steel in our furnace in its temporary home right here, floating in the middle of nowhere. We printed up a bunch of resources to start building a greenhouse. And in the next episode, we'll get some doors connected to it. And yeah, we'll deal with it. Because I think actually we're out of granola bars now, so we're going to have to start eating the raw plants we came with, and that leaves us kind of in a not a great spot. Anyway, again, what's the right word? Constructive criticism, feedback, definitely welcome. Thoughts, questions, queries. Yeah, that'd be great. I still don't have a sign off, so let's try Hawaiian. Aloha.